Hello, this is Miss Brown, and today we'll be talking about the arthropods, phylum Arthropoda. And just to note, you will be having to stop this to write things in on your organizer as we go, because there's quite a bit on this one. So number one, arthro means joint and poda means foot. So we have jointed appendages, jointed legs on these animals. Examples of these appendages are legs, wings, and antenna. Characteristics, they have jointed appendages, a segmented body, an exoskeleton, they have to molt to grow, and they have open circulation with a hemocoel, which means they don't have vessels. It's all inside the cavity. Their blood is just loose inside the cavity. All right, relationships to man, the positive food source, a link in the food chain, and pollinators, and bad things, negatives, the bites and stings. They can transmit disease, and they destroy crops. All right, types of arthropods. We have insects. Examples there are grasshoppers, bees, beetles, flies. You're pretty familiar with those. You have your chilopods. An example of those are the centipedes. There are diplopods. That's the millipedes. And arachnids, the spiders, scorpions, ticks, and mites. That's the ones a lot of us don't like. Crustaceans. Here's your good stuff to eat. Crayfish. Y'all call those crawdads. Lobster, crab, and shrimp, and others are the roly-poly and the barnacle. Let's talk about insects a moment. The habitat, they're found terrestrial and aquatic. There are 3 body divisions in an insect. They all have 3 body divisions, head, thorax, and abdomen, and they have 6 legs that are attached to the thorax. For respiratory organs, there is the spiracles and trachea. Their wings are very, very important for remote colonization. That way they can get away. And they can have 1 to 2 pair of those, and they're very important. Their mouth parts are related to their diet. And a neat little thing they actually have these things called Malpighian tubules, and they're like kidneys, just right like kidneys there. They have a tympanum, which is just an eardrum to help them with hearing. And defense mechanisms, of course, is the bite and sting. And also under defense mechanisms, I want you to put camouflage and mimicry. Sometimes they look like other things, like the walking stick looks like a twig. And with the coloration, we've got a lot of animals blend in with plants that they're around. They have 2 kinds of metamorphosis. Write both these down in that space. They have incomplete, which is the egg nymph, and then to the adult, we see that with the grasshopper. And then, of course, the complete metamorphosis is in the butterfly, where we have an egg, and then a larva, and then that pupa. You often call that a cocoon, and then the adult emerges. Let's talk. They're social insects. They live in hives or colonies, and they have a big division of labor between the queens, drones, and workers. And we'll be doing an activity later where you'll learn more about how that works. Now, the chilopods, their habitat is terrestrial. Their body divisions, they have a head and numerous segments, and legs, they have 1 pair per segment. And they have a very flattened body and a poisonous claw that kills their prey before they eat it. All right, the diplopods, these are terrestrial. They have a head and numerous segments. And for defense, they round their body up like a roly-poly. They round it up, and they have scent glands, and they actually eat plants. Now let's talk about the arachnids. Those are the ones that nobody much cares for. Habitat, terrestrial. They're found only on land. The body divisions, there are 2. They have a cephalothorax and an abdomen. 8 legs on an arachnid. No antenna. All right, respiratory. They have these things called book lungs. They look like a stack of books in the library. And their eyes are simple, but they have up to 8 different eyes. So they can look at a lot of different things at once. And they have these fangs called chelicerae. And we know about that if you've ever had a spider bite. They have these neat little silk glands and spinnerets. And they're poisonous. In the U.S., the poisonous ones we have to worry about are the black widow and the brown recluse. Now, another group of arachnids are the scorpions. They have pinchers and stingers. They're all poisonous, and some of them can be deadly. And then we have the crustaceans. Oh, wait, first let's talk about the ticks and mites. They're parasites. Diseases we have to worry about there are Lyme disease and Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Crustaceans, their habitat, most of them are aquatic. Their body divisions are 2, the cephalothorax and the abdomen. They have 10 legs. For respiration, they have gills. They have 2 eyes, and their eyes are set up on stalks where they can look around, which is kind of neat. They have pinchers for defense and getting food. They have a flipper on the back end, on their tail back there, for backward movement. And important to man, of course, is the food source. Thank you.